Hi children, welcome to our history classes. Before we start the classes, I would like to call your attention to the topics we learned last year. In class 9, the very first chapter you learned was French Revolution. We are starting from there. You may be remembering the events, the developments and the consequences of French Revolution. Let us try to recall the major developments of French Revolution once more. You remember the year of Revolution, when it was in the year 1789. What was the major event? The Emperor of France, Louis XVI of Bourbon dynasty was overthrown by the revolutionaries. Not only that he was overthrown, he was executed. He was killed along with his wife and many from his family. Many of them lost their lives during the revolution. And in 1793, the revolutionaries under the leadership of Robespierre came to power. His rule lasted just for 1 year, 1793 to 94. And this period is known as Reign of Terror. Many elite people were executed using a weapon called guillotine. A very special machine was invented only for the purpose of executing people in large number. All this happened in between 1793 and 94, which is known as Reign of Terror. And because of this cruel rule of Robespierre, he was overthrown. And he himself was executed by his followers. And in 1794, a directory rule took the power of France. Directory rule. What is directory rule? Learning from the experience of Robespierre, the revolutionaries decided not to entrust any single person with power. Instead, they entrusted a group of 5 people in power to avoid rule by a single person and to avoid becoming an autocrat. So here the revolution appointed 5 prominent people in power. That is directory rule. But there was a lot of problem, and these people, they don't have any consensus among them, and this led to anarchy in the country. Using this opportunity, what happened? Napoleon Bonaparte captured power in the year 1799 from the directory rulers. In the beginning, Napoleon was acting as first consul of France, who did not have any complete authority over the people. But in 1804, using the condition in France, Napoleon crowned himself as the Emperor of France. Napoleon is becoming Emperor of France. Now again France is coming from a republic to monarchy again. In 1789, France became a republic, and again in 1804, France is becoming a monarchy country again. And Hitler ruled for almost 11 years until 1850. He was defeated by the neighboring countries, say by Belgium, England, and all, in the the Battle of Waterloo. That also you may be aware of. And when Hitler was defeated, when Napoleon was defeated in the Battle of Waterloo, they reinstated the Bourbon dynasty in power again. So again, France is coming under a dynasty rule, and this continued till 1848. This year is very significant in the history of France again. This is another era. One more revolution is taking place in the year 1848 in France, and the rulers of Bourbon family again they are overthrown. They are reinstating a republic once more, and here France became a republic. Now we have to come back to our lesson. Here in the textbook, the first page you can see a colorful painting. This painting is very significant. Everything, all aspects in the painting you have to listen very carefully. That we are going to describe here. In 1948, in this year, revolutions are happening all around in France, and a particular person known as Frederic Souriau, he painted a series of pictures, an artwork. And he painted a series of artwork in France. Now I call your attention to the picture again. There you can see a group of people are marching in a long train. There he was a very famous artist, and there in the picture we can see a group of people marching, and there a statue we can notice there. And this statue is the Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty you may be very familiar with. In New York, we have one Statue of Liberty, but that Statue of Liberty and the Statue of Liberty are different. Of course, the Statue of Liberty was installed here much later than this event in 1948. Here, the Statue of Liberty, this concept is coming from the ancient Roman beliefs. In Roman belief, liberty was a female figure. There was a goddess known as Liberta, and liberty is coming from that concept only. So people conceptualized the idea of liberty in this female figure. So here that goddess of liberty, she is standing, and on her hands she is holding two things. In the right hand, she is holding the Charter of Declaration of Charter of Men and Citizens. That you may be remembering what is the Declaration of Charter of Men and Citizens. What is that? It was the constitution that the French people made during French Revolution. There it is very clearly mentioned what is the condition of citizens, human beings, and that charter is that she is holding the right hand, and in her left hand she is holding a torch. This is the torch of enlightenment. Torch of enlightenment. Enlightenment we have seen last year. It was an ideology of the people of Europe from the Middle Ages. It is an ideology basing on reason. People believe or people realized that we don't have to accept any sort of teaching unless it is reasonable. Whatever the decision we are taking, we should satisfy our reason. An ideology basing on reason. People began to think like that. And that concept, the torch, that concept is figured here as a torch. That is what you see in the left hand. Then we see a group of people are marching. They are, the picture is incomplete. Already 2 flags and their people are gone past of the statue. The people who have surpassed the Statue of Liberty are the people of Switzerland and USA. Why these two, the people of these 2 nations have surpassed are because by this time, by the year 1848, these 2 countries have become independent. Now you just recall the major developments of French Revolution from last year that you studied. Then the name of the artist Frederic Soriot and the major contents of the paintings here. Thank you, and we will discuss more in the next class.